you know, and they complain right here. Since we've been under you know, we was under Edomites, we was cool, but now they want to go right back up under these heathen, man. Just like Jake do now. When you go to these different suburbs, man, you always got Esau or go. They'll lay down some land and build some homes, and guess what? It's always Jake. Some Jake got that's you know, got a little money, got a little FRNs. He want to move out there. Why not buy your own plot somewhere else and build, and you be amongst yourself? They want to be right up under Esau, man. That's spiritual. That goes all the way back to the scriptures, man. Jake always wanted to be under the oppressor, man. And it says, verse 12, so this device pleased him well, and certain of the people were so forward herein, they was comfortable with being under the heathen, that they went to the king who gave them license to do the ordinance of the heathen, right? And at this particular time, they were worshiping Ptolemy, man. You know, also as the Most High. It says, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the custom of the heathen, which was a gymnos, man, meaning naked. This is the hallmark of you Greeks, man. Those gymnasiums, man. And right now you have gyms, and every town you go in, it's a gym. And you go in there, you got saunas where Esau walk around naked, man. This is a heathen custom. Now you got Jakes doing the same thing, man. They'll go in them gyms and take their clothes off and put a towel on. Some of them just be walking around straight butt naked, man. That's what it goes back to, man. And you Jakes want to be a part of that, man. And it says, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant that Yahweh Shem Yahushua gave you, and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief, man. So they willing slaves, man. That's our people, man. That's Jake. You want to be a willing slave. This is you. This is the nation of Israel becoming in that Gentile state of mind. This is where, when you read the Maccabees, man, you know, and it says, now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, they thought to reign over Egypt, and they might have dominion over 2 realms. Now I'm going to skip over. This is when Antiochus had took down one of the Ptolemies and gained control. He said this in verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that we should be one people, right? Being as one. That's a new world order. This is a new world order back then. Just like you see on the dollar, e pluribus unum. You know, it says, and everyone should leave his laws. He was talking to the Israelites and the other nations, basically who we had in captivity. You should leave your laws, your statutes and your commandments, your customs of life. Leave it. Just don't forget about it. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So everybody that was in subjection, okay, we're going to agree with the king. All hail to the king. We're going to agree to whatever you got. Because you already know he was making examples when he was actually, you know, he writing letters, but you know he was making examples of people. You just roll up and just start, oh, you don't want to do what the king say, they just kill him. So they was like, okay, we're going to agree. So it says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed it to idols and profaned the Sabbaths, man. So they start calling themselves Greeks, profane their own Sabbaths, man. Start worshiping whatever idol Esau had up. You know, when you consent, let me show you. Let's look up the word consent. Let's go to Merriam-Webster. Consent. Tell you, man, these phones, hey, more and more this truth come out, man, all these phones start doing wacky tacky stuff. They get slower and slower. consent, to agree to do something or allow something, to give permission for something to happen or be done. To agree, right? To agree. So you're agreeing with this decree that the king put out that was going against what Yahweh Shem Yahushua had put forth for you to obey. You're going against it, Salaki. And it says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings, because we used to use burnt offerings unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He said, don't do it, and sacrifice drink offerings in the temple. So we couldn't go in the temple and do our business as the Levites used to do. Can't do it no more. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. But we had our feast days. We got the feast days of first unleavened bread, Passover, first fruit, tabernacles, atonement. He was like, don't do them. And these are our high holy days, right? And Jake them, and to today, they are not going by their high holy days. You're going by the king's holy days, which he have put before you. You're celebrating New Year's, you're celebrating Valentine's Day, you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, you're celebrating 4th of July, you're celebrating Memorial Day, you're celebrating Labor Day, you're celebrating Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. That's what you're doing. You're consenting with the king, his orders. You have vanished your high holy days, which are the Passover, first fruits, unleavened bread, the tabernacles, feast of tabernacles, atonement, feast of dedication, Purim. You didn't went totally against all those. You didn't push those back and consented and agreed to do what the king of the land has told you to do. That's why death is going to come to you, man. And it says, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of the idols, man. That's why you have churches on every corner. Those are groves and idols. That's idols of the king, man. Because everyone you see, it's a cross. When you walk in, you see a big cross hanging up, either on top or inside. You see white Jesus somewhere around. The frescoes, the paintings of the frescoes, and the way the windows look. Everything is a Greek and a Roman feel to it. When you go in them churches, man, them chapels. It says, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, man. And all you people eat pork, right? And then when somebody get on you in the scriptures, you'll get convicted. Oh, I don't eat pork no more, but you still eating shrimp, you still eating lobsters, you still eating frogs, you still eating alligator, you eating squirrel, you eating rabbit, you eating raccoon, you eating possum, you eating all these abominable things, man. But the things that are catfish, but the things that you're supposed to eat, you won't eat it. Hey, let me get this scripture. It's Isaiah, I think 5. I want to say 5. It says 5:20, Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, and put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Come, woe unto you that call evil good and good evil. Because you call catfish good, you call pork good. You try to make excuses. Well, if you cook it, the poison leave. No, the Lord said don't eat it. Right? These damn phones, man. The Lord said don't eat it. He gave you an order. So you're not following the orders of the law, statutes, and commandments. You're following the order of the king. You call catfish good. But the Lord said you can eat locusts. Now, if I came with a locust and broke the legs, I'll pull the head off and try to give it to you. You'd be like, oh, that's nasty. But yeah, you bring a piece of pork chop and hand it to him, which was abominable. You'll eat it and lick your fingers when you get done. Frog legs, alligator, all that shit, man. Shrimps and lobsters and crabs and mussels and all that kind of shit. You call that shit good. It's abominable. It tells you that right there in Leviticus 11th chapter. These are the things that you have consented of, that you have followed the orders of the king of the land, which are the Edomites at this point. You are an abominable filth right along with them. That's why 2/3 had to be destroyed. It says, set up altars and groves. You set up these churches. The Lord say gonna destroy them eminent places, man. So you better get out of it. This is when we became Gentiles. You're reading it right here, man, in the Maccabees, man. The books that they took out. And then you wonder why they took these books out of the Bible, man. Because it's got that heat in there, man. 144 degrees of heat coming out. Yeah, it's hot out here too. It says verse 48. They should also leave their children uncircumcised, man. You know that was part of the covenant with Abraham and the Lord, man. Circumcise your kids, man, on the 8th day. And make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. See? Make them filthy, man. Make them filthy. That's crazy, man. Let me look over here. 2nd Maccabees, 6th chapter. 2nd Maccabees 6. Now I started 5. It said the altar also was filled with profane things which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feast days. See, once you consented, you couldn't keep them no more. Or to profess himself all to be a Jew. So you couldn't even call yourself the son of Judah no more. It says, see, you couldn't even call yourself the Jew no more, which Jew is short for Judah, man. You know? So you know when it says neither Jew nor Greek, it's talking about the Israelites who were scattered, which we read before. You're scattered to that land, man. You've been foreign. You're a stranger to that land, and then you take on those customs of that land. Yeah, you're a stranger, man. You would be a stranger to everybody who was back in Jerusalem that was obeying the law, statutes, commandments. It's like, who is this dude, man? And we look at you now when we out preaching. You come up with this weird out doctrines, or you looking all bugged out. We looking at you the same way, like, who is this dude, man? We don't know you. We see you. You look like us, but shit, who knows? You could be an Edomite. That's why we always try your spirit by the spirit through these scriptures. And it says, back in 1st Maccabees 1:49, to the end that they may forget the law and change all the ordinance, right? So he wanted them to forget their own law, man. And it says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said they should die. So if you didn't do according to the commandment of the king, he would kill you, right? You didn't do according to the commandment of the king, they just kill you. And I know they made examples of people before they read those decrees, man. That's how you scare people. You make examples of them, like they did in the slavery times, man. You know? That's how they did. Beat you and kill you, pull you apart, let horses pull you apart, whatnot, hang you up, cut you apart. Then they start reading decrees. People they're gonna roll with the decrees, man. You know? Let's go back here and look in this 2nd Maccabees 6th chapter again. This is Eleazar, 2nd Maccabees 6:24. For it becometh not our age, he said, in any wise to dissemble, whereabout many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 84 years old and 10, fourscore years old and 90 were now gone to a strange religion, man. So it didn't matter how old they were, man. Back then, they were consenting to these strange religions, leaving their law, statutes, and commandments that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave them. And right now, it's 2019. We have old fools out here now. We got 80-year-old people, 90-year-old people don't even know they Israelites. All they know is they get a check every month. Esau ain't beating them like he did to their generation prior to them. You know, and that was part of his thing, beating the religion out of you, beating your customs out of you. That's an example. Like on Roots, you had Jake and them sitting around. They had consented to the king when Toby was getting, Kunta was getting beat. What's your name? Kunta. He kept saying, nah, your name Toby. Boom. He kept hitting him. And then people around him like, go on, just, agree with him. Say your name, Toby. Say your name, Toby. Just say it. They was all like, just say it. But nah, he knew who he was. He knew where he come from. He knew who his forefathers were. You know? Even though it could have been possible he was believing in a Hamite custom because we left the shores of Africa. A lot of our people, consented to being a Hamite. You know? But he beat it right out of him to the point he just consented. And that made everybody else, hey, okay, we gotta obey this master. You became Gentiles, man, doing the Greeks, man. And you Gentiles now under this strange religion of Christianity, the white man's Christianity. You following his rules, his regulations, his laws right now. You arrive by police and have them put your seatbelt on. Straighten up when you see the police, but act up when you're around Jake, when you're around your own people. You see Esau, you straighten up. And it says, this is 1 Maccabees 1:51. In the self-same manner wrote to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city, man. So he appointed overseers, man, over the cities. And that's what he do now. Who is an overseer of a city? A mayor. Make sure order is kept, man. A mayor is the overseer of the city, man. So it says, verse 52, then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land. They became Gentiles, man. They just went against their customs. This is when they became Gentiles. Maccabees, man, Maccabees, the first chapter. During the time of Antiochus, man. This is when y'all became Gentiles, man. And it's the Israelites. And you Edomites trying to say y'all the Gentiles. No, y'all was ruling us. Y'all made us follow after y'all heathen customs, man. You have a natural Gentile, right? By birth, which is you Edomites, and you have the Gentile, which we take on these other customs of these other nations, man. So when you read in the New Testament, when it's talk about Greeks, it's talk about Gentiles, man, it's talking about the Israelite foreigners, man, the ones who went against their custom. That's who Paul had to go to when you read in Galatians. He went to the uncircumcised, and Paul to the circumcision. It's all dealing with Israel, man. It says, verse 53, and drove the Israelites into secret places wherever they could flee to secure, right? So you have some that revolted, right? A lot of them. That's why you have the 1/3 and the 2/3. In Zechariah 13:8, you got 1/3, you got 2/3. Because when you go into the second chapter, it tell you that Mattathias and his son Judas now, the Maccabees, in that Maccabean era, the revolt, a lot of Israelites, they ran to the mountains, man, to be away from you heathens, man. And now in 2019, we were Gentiles at one time, but the Lord put the spirit on certain men to teach, and certain brothers are waking up. And we're running to the secure, which is the hiding place, was in the scriptures. This is the hiding place that we're running to. We don't have no mountain retreat that we can run to with all of us brothers, because we in different states, man. We're in different countries. We ain't got no one place we all, because a lot of times at that time, they were all together. But we don't have that place we can all run to and be together and worship the Lord the right way. So our secure place, our hiding place is in the scriptures, man, in this knowledge and wisdom, understanding of the Bible. And this is where we became Gentiles, man. The first chapter of the Maccabees, man, under when Antiochus took over king. So when you read in the scriptures, those Gentiles and Greeks is Israelite foreigners. And I'm gonna end with one scripture. I'm gonna end with this one. This is the book of John. John 7. John 7 and 35. It says, then said the Jews among themselves, right? And back then the Jews were the Negroes, the Benjamites, and the Levites, because we all looked alike. So that name was put on us in the Babylonian Empire. Oh, those are Jews. You know, it was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And it says, among themselves, whither will we go that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed? Right? To the dispersed, the dispersion. When it's dispersed, that word says dispersion. Among the Gentiles, to teach the Gentiles. It says dispersion, scattered Jews. That's what it says in the collar. So it says, will he go among the Gentiles to teach the Gentiles? So will he go among you natural Greeks to teach the Greeks, the ones who have bowed down to your laws, your statutes, and your commandments, and did away with their customs of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, of worshiping the Lord the true and the right way? Will he go among those Greeks who are you natural people and teach the loss of our people who are among? And that's what Paul and them was doing. That's what Peter and them and Paul and them was doing. And that's what we are doing now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, and with that, man, I hope this lesson was edifying. All praises, honor, and glory be to the Heavenly Father and Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS who rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. GMS, stop and listen, Brother Cal. Shalom.